Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Ryan. Today's YouTube video has got me back in the Scharnhorst here in World of Warships. Now I originally wanted to put this video out yesterday. Unfortunately, I discovered that there was a significant audio issue that resulted in some very severe static on the voiceover, so I wasn't able to publish it yesterday. Instead, you get it today. Now, as the battle gets underway, it's the Shards map, it's Domination Match Mode, and I have convinced the team that our best bets here are the A and B cap points. Now, for whatever reason, the enemy team has opted to push hard to the A cap point. You can see the vast majority of their ships moving that direction. This is a tier 8 maximum battle, and there are 3 destroyers on the enemy team, so they do have a destroyer advantage. At least they did have a destroyer advantage, but now they've lost one. However, they still do have their tier 8 destroyer, and he was definitely down at the C cap point. As we can see, the enemy destroyer who's currently capturing the B point is not that tier 8 destroyer. Now I'm pushing up hard to the B cap point, and I'm doing this because, for the most part, the enemy team seems to be content on ignoring me. All those battleships not really shooting at me, and there is an enemy destroyer up there. If there's one thing that the Scharnhorst is particularly good at doing, it's hunting down and dealing with destroyers, especially if you've got a friendly destroyer in front of you who can provide support and preferably early torpedo protection by spotting them. Enemy Russian cruiser up there is taking shots at me. He does manage to set me on fire. Kind of annoyed by that. I never get that kind of RNGesus when I'm in a cruiser shooting at somebody. Never manage to set those fires at such insane rates. Now, I'm not so concerned about that destroyer up there firing off torpedoes at me, but I don't repair the fire right away because I don't know if that Russian cruiser is going to continue to attack me. Now, I am in the friendly smoke screen there, so that's going to keep me undetected for a little bit. That's going to give me an opportunity to shoot at this destroyer without receiving too much in the way of return fire. I do hit him, cause some damage to him, but he is going to make his way behind that island, and I get set on fire a second time, so it's time to put those shots out. Take incoming fire there, fortunately not very accurate, and I'm able to turn hard and away. And as I turn hard and away, I'm paying attention to the minimap down in the corner there, and that's when the enemy Leander pops up, and this guy is full strength, and he's basically taken the long route, that low position around those islands, and is coming up towards our spawn. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with this Leander, because you'll notice he's broadside onto me, and that's not a good position to be in if you're in a cruiser, especially not one like the Leander, and especially not dealing with a Scharnhorst with its rapid-fire 11-inch guns. But he's not popping a smokescreen, he's not slowing down, he's just sailing broadside on, and I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. Now, you'll see up there also, the enemy Lo Yang has popped up, and that's that tier 8 destroyer I was talking about. And he's back over there. He's also taken that long route back down there. So he clearly captured the C cap point and then went back behind those islands and has popped up in our spawn. I'm not entirely sure what he was hoping to do by getting this far back, but being back there, he could cause significant issues if left unchecked. That Leander has completely stopped. He's brought himself to a standstill. I don't know if that's because he's beached or what, but you'll notice that he's shooting, but he's not actually shooting at anything. He's just continuing to pump round after round out of his forward guns at what is effectively nothing. Now he's in secondary range, flag him for secondaries, and start putting shots on him. I turn in towards him just in case he's got torpedoes out, but because he continues to shoot and because he's not moving, I'm almost convinced that he's a bot or botting to some degree. So I'm not concerned about him anymore. I start turning hard and away, and I'm just going to let my secondaries do their job, because they should take him out, and they do confirm that kill with the secondaries. They did set him on fire anyway. He was very low health. Now, the enemy Lo Yang up here is popped a smokescreen. He's also in secondary range, and I have to be careful of him because he has torpedoes as well. Something I did forget was how good the Lo Yang's hydroacoustic is as I start closing in on that smokescreen. My goal here is to close in on this Lo Yang and try and drive him out of that smoke screen, as well as try and surprise him with torpedoes. But he's got his hydro up, so he sees me. He opts to basically bug out of there, which is probably the best option for him. But I do still have to be very careful that I don't get torpedoed. And that's when this Lo Yang decides he's going to turn in. And because he's turning in, and because I want to keep the bow of my ship pointed towards him to minimize torpedo damage if he's got them out, I'm limited to what I can do, especially limited with my secondary gunners. And I don't have my death sticks, my torpedoes, my balance lances available anymore. And so I'm really at this point thinking that this guy's going to come in for a point-blank range kill torpedo attack, and this is going to be done for me, except he opts to just turn his ship into a giant torpedo instead and rams me. I wasn't expecting this. I was legitimately expecting him to pull a feint at the very last possible second, get a little bit of distance, and drop a whole set of torpedoes into me. And that probably would have killed me if he had done that. But he didn't. He just closed in for the ram for whatever reason. Oh well. Hey, that's a Die Hard for me, and that's an award that, like the Liquidator, like Witherer, I never get those awards. So now, having that, and being as far back as I am, I'm actually in a good position where I can start recovering some health, and I can take assessment of the situation. With that Tier 8 destroyer gone, that means that the enemy team only has that one German destroyer left, and he hasn't been seen in a while, so I don't know where exactly he is located. Looking at the tactical situation, the teams are equal, but my team has 2 of the 3 cap points. That means my team is gaining capture points twice as fast as the enemy team. Not only are we gaining more points, but because we've held those 2 caps for as long as we have, we actually have the points advantage. This means that we can afford to take hits and lose a couple of ships and still stay in the fight. I cannot tell you the number of times I've watched teams who don't have those caps, who don't have those points advantages, will squander what they have by losing their ships and very quickly ending the fight by allowing the enemy team to hit that 1,000-point marker a lot faster. Now I am isolated back over here, and I'm the only one near the C cap point. But look at the enemy. The enemy has got themselves split into 2. One group that's back by their spawn, and the other group that's pushing up the opposite flank, who's being engaged by 2 friendly ships that are back down there. The vast majority of my team is between the B and A cap points on either side of those islands. And for the most part, the enemy team seems content to be shooting at them. So I feel pretty confident that I can go ahead and I can slip right into the C cap point and take it from the enemy. And if I can do that, I can ensure that the enemy team will not gain any more points through that, which means my team will have an absolute advantage, gain us the points lead, and then if we do suddenly start losing a lot of ships really fast, we have that points buffer, but we also have 3 of the caps so that we can win on points, win by capping. Again, something that I think a lot of people don't quite realize you can do. You don't have to kill all the enemy ships in order to win the game. Now, as I come around the island here, I am detected. That's going to be the same Russian cruiser who took shots at me earlier. He's broadside onto me, and so I'm going to get shots out there, but he's not tunnel visioning. He has paid attention to me, and as a result, he turns away. So my shots get over-penetrated there and don't do as much damage as I would have liked to have. It would have been nice to nail him with a citadel or something and finish him off, but he's returning fire now. He's not being tunnel visioned on what the rest of the team was doing, and that's actually a pretty smart cruiser player right there. And he's going to continue to put out those shots. Now, he does set me on fire, but I don't immediately repair that. I don't repair it because, 1, he's still shooting at me, and he's a Russian cruiser, so he's probably going to set me on fire again. And 2, there's still that destroyer could be somewhere, and I don't know where he's at yet. So as I get shots out there, I put the fire out because that cruiser's no longer a threat, and as I push up into the C cap point, well, I'm still detected, so I know there's somebody within that 19 kilometers that is able to see me. It doesn't actually matter, because at this point, the only way that destroyer is going to be able to cause me problems is to basically come in through one of these channels into the sea cap point, and at that point I'm going to see him pretty easily. He's a German destroyer. I think he can just barely stealth torp, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, as I push up in here, I'm contemplating going up that center channel there, but I kind of decided I wanted to go around the islands because I thought maybe the enemy Bismarck or the enemy cruiser that's still back over there might go the other way, might try to head back down towards the sea cap point, in which case I can head them off. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Now, I slow down here because I don't want to drift out of the cap before I'm done capturing the base. I've done that before. It's really annoying to have to stop, reverse, and come back into it. But as there's a few seconds left, I crank up the speed again. I get myself underway. And I have forced myself now to take the long road around here. And you can see there that battleship has turned, and he's actually not going the direction I thought he was going to go. So if I want to cut him off, now I have to go around the island the way I didn't intend to. But here you can see why he's doing that. There's a very, very low health tier 8 battleship, Bismarck, at the B cap point. And he's going to be the focus of attention for that enemy Bismarck as well as the enemy Gneisenau. And they're just going to kind of put round after round onto him and try and kill him. At this point, the enemy team definitely needs to kill somebody. If they want to stay in this game at any level, they have to kill somebody, drop those points back down so that they can reassess, pick a new target, and continue to peck away at us. The teams are still pretty close as far as the lineup goes. They've got a pretty full health Bismarck there. Their Gneisenau off in the distance still has a pretty good amount of health. You'll notice, though, that I don't have any more heal or repairs left, so I do have to be careful coming around this island and dealing with that Bismarck, because I know his secondaries will probably get trained on me, and they will set me on fire, so I do need to be careful. Every fire, every bit of damage that I take is going to be permanent. It's going to stick. There's no way for me to repair it, so I do have to be very careful when dealing with the repair with that damage control option. Now, that Bismarck did turn hard and away, and I don't think it's because he saw me. I think it's just because he saw the rest of the ships that were pushing up there. Didn't really want to deal with all of those ships. Now, as I come around here, I'm actually kind of hoping that they kill that Bismarck so that I have enough time to get around the island and put shots into this Bismarck's ass, and I do manage to do it. They do kill him. I feel bad. I'm sorry, sir, that I wanted you to die so badly, but now I can get the damage in and the damage done that I want. And this is going to be excellent for me because I'm within secondary range of him. They actually managed to take out yet another ship on my team, and that's gonna be kind of dicey there because now I'm committed to this engagement. And again, I don't have a heal, so this is going to be a serious problem. But the team has 3 caps, so we're gaining points at a very rapid rate. The question is, am I going to be able to put this guy down and survive? I kill him. That's going to put us right on the cusp. There's the enemy destroyer, but it doesn't matter as we secured victory anyway. 100,000 damage in that game, only 4 kills, 1 shy of a Kraken Unleashed. But still, I got a Die Hard, a Close Quarters, and a Dreadnought out of that. The Die Hard, though, by far the most hilarious one, and the most unusual for me. I don't ram people. If I do ram people, it's a last-ditch effort, and I'm not going to survive, and neither are you. And of course, with a result like that, top of the team for XP earned at over 2,000 base XP. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, as well as my live streaming schedule, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me in the channel, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see featured on my channel, or you'd just like to send to have me watch and observe, you can do so by sending it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships, among other games live, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.